Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sippin and Selling
with Joey Chanel. Welcome back to another episode of Sippin and Selling. Today is going to be a very special treat for my audience. It's my first multi-generational episode with the founders of BevMax. It's a massive liquor store chain, mostly out of Connecticut, with Mike and Martin Berkoff, as well as my father, Joe Ballin. Welcome back to the show, Joe, and welcome to the show, Martin and Mike.
Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome. I understand it's your first podcast, so don't be scared. It's going to be fun. You got your Irish whiskey to sip on in case you get nervous, but this should be a good time. I'm excited to have you guys here. Cheers. Yes, cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Salute.
To multi-generations.
May you live 100 years.
And
may the last words you hear
be mine. Dad loves all of these silly one-liners. So my apologies, guys. We're going to try our best to navigate through this professionally. But you know, if you've known my dad as long as you have, it should be a lot less professional than anything. But you're going to try. We're going to try. So like I said, Mike and Martin are their family. Mike is Martin's son. You have other sons, though, too, Martin.
Yes.
And you guys all are part of the BevMax chain.
That is correct.
How long have you been in business now?
Ooh, since 1964.
Wow. That's a long time.
Well, then going back also to December 5th, 1933.
Oh, okay. And
Right.
Out of New York.
Right. So, from what I understand, you started BevMax first, right? You had one location?
One location, correct.
And how did you get into the industry? Does it go back farther than that?
I grew up in it. I mean, back in the early 40s, and, it was part of the family. That's what we started with.
Wow, that's amazing. Yep. Well, thank you so much for being on your first podcast
You're
with
welcome.
me. I take it very much to heart. That's very kind of you. And Mike, did my dad meet Martin first, or did he meet you?
He actually met my grandfather first.
Oh, yeah. Dad. What was his grandfather's name? Do you remember?
I can't remember my name.
Hilarious. Robert was his name, I understand?
Correct.
Yeah.
Robert Berkoff.
Lovely. Dad, do you remember meeting him?
I remember meeting Martin. I'm slipping.
That's okay. We're here to all help each other through this. We'll give each other some cliff notes. But do you remember what you maybe were selling back then? No.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Joe Ballin.
Oh, well, you're always selling the Joe show. Okay, so you met his father, then he met you, and then you met Mike, and that's who I know. Mike has been in my life as long as I can remember. My dad always worked with you and sold brands to your store, and you helped build brands with my father. Do you remember meeting him?
I remember your dad when he came in, he was selling us Don Q rum in the very beginning.
Okay. What was that like?
That was interesting. I think it was also with your uncle.
Yeah, with my Uncle Abby?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And was that in the New York location, or was that?
That was Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut. Okay. You guys have how many locations in Connecticut now?
12.
12 locations. Massive.
And if I can interrupt.
No, we're
No,
not
I can't.
interrupting, Joe. When it's your turn, I'll prompt you. You need to wait till spoken to. So anywho, so you have 12 locations, and you guys also have elevated this chain and the business thus far that you're operating online as well through another company.
That's correct.
That's called
BevStack.
And BevStack services how many states?
All the states.
All the states. And you ship alcohol for a lot of brands that I sell. And if those of you out there haven't heard of BevStack, go check them out. Say hi to Juan for me. And you guys can find a nice place to service other states that maybe you're not in business with yet, correct?
We have associated retailers in 45 states.
Amazing. Okay, well, that's really cool, Mike. But let's talk a little bit more about when you used to work in the store, Martin.
Wow.
Do you remember?
We're going back a long time now.
We go back a long time, but that's okay. Did you like being on the receiving end of customers coming in and trying to sell you brands?
Absolutely.
Yeah? You did? What do you think people made as the biggest mistake when they'd come in and try to pitch a brand to you?
Well, today today or years
Back
ago?
then.
Back
What was
then?
the biggest mistake back then?
Back then, since there wasn't an overabundance of product in every category, it was a lot easier to promote a brand for a period of time.
Okay.
Today, every category that comes out is overloaded with product. And if there's a new category that opens 90 days later, everybody else is jumping into that category.
Correct.
So it starts collapsing under so much weight and so much confusion to the consumer.
Okay. So nowadays, I guess what you're basically saying is if you've already seen it and it's already been there, done that, and it didn't succeed on the shelf within 60 days, come in. But if it did, then maybe pick another lane.
That is correct.
All
so
right.
today, based on what we see in the market, a brand has to have the right social media, and it has to have the right marketing and fast penetration to the consumer. Otherwise, after 90 or 120 days, we just discontinue it.
Okay. Well, that's scary. What about back in the day, though? Everybody did business on a handshake, right? So that's not
correct.
where my father's relationship comes in with you because he's 89. We're not social media, gurus over here. So how does that work with brands like his brands, Cask 420 and Cloud Irish Whiskey? How do we stay on the shelves at BevMax?
We still do handshake deals.
Okay. All right. Old school. We like the old school, right, Joe?
That's the right answer. I'd like to comment
You're allowed to.
on where he was at retail. Back then, it was a growing industry, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And then all of a sudden, this Generation Z showed up today. And the impact on our industry is amazing. How they totally stopped drinking, as far as I'm concerned, and going to RTDs, low alcohol, 4 or 5%. Creating the opportunity for people like you. Why? Like us. Why? Family, relationships, and embryonic brands or new brands.
Up, here he comes.
Like one we're developing.
On a Principles 8x10 white piece of paper.
A Cuban rum.
Oh, ay.
Cast
Perfect.
1957.
Oh my God.
Freedom. Opportunity. And we're all in it together.
Mike.
And that is basically the problem today for marketers. The opposite is true for retail organizations. They can find the slot with good suppliers and bring in the marketing. And today, the price sensitivity is the trick. Move it and then raise the price a quarter a bottle in 6 months, every 6 months. But give it away in the beginning. If it's in the bottle, it's a winner, absolute winner.
Okay, well, let's hear from the actual professional who owns multiple liquor stores and see what they think moves the needle. What do you think, Mike? What do you leave out? A little here, a little there.
So we see the market. Even though you keep reading about a pullback and all, the pullback is not as big as everybody's talking about. The pullback has been more in the dollar range, the average unit value, than anything else. So what we're seeing today is there's a lot of shift from wine to RTDs, from RTDs into also THC. I think today the world is testing different ways to consume product to feel good. And you have today a non-alc category, which has exploded. You have THC, which has exploded. You have legalized cannabis that has also exploded. So people are trying different things. Just like you try different restaurants every night, you'll try different forms of ingesting product to feel well, to feel good.
Makes sense. Martin, did you ever think that there would be a category that had cannabinoids inside the cans?
Never in my lifetime. Never.
Have you tried any?
I'm waiting to get try to taste some of it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I haven't tried any, to be honest with you.
Can
Let me give him his first bottle of Cass 420 cannabis hemp infused.
Okay.
The only horse in the race. No one else got government approval. Puerto Rico. Rum.
Okay, Joe, there's your advertisement. Let me go back to Martin because I care about what he thinks.
Yeah.
So I ask you because, like alcohol, with prohibition and all of that and bootlegging, you know, there was always a bad taste around it and everybody frowned upon it. And the same with the weed game, right? So now that it's coming into our space, it's coming alongside of it. It's not replacing necessarily, but it is, like Mike said, an alternative for people that are trying a different restaurant, so if you will. But I think a lot of people, like back then with the alcohol business, there's a stigma around it and they're afraid to try it. Have you not tried anything because of that, or you just haven't had a chance?
I haven't had a chance, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Right. But I'm willing to try it as soon as I can.
Good, because a lot of people are
Don't let
afraid.
me keep you waiting.
Jesus, Joe. It's the Joe Show, as usual, over here at Podcast Junkies.
Joey, I'm sure you know this. Mike has been testing this for how long?
About 5 years.
5 years?
No, that's 2 years, but he had all the samples that were not TTV approved. So, maybe 5
Why
years.
don't we ask Mike what you see here ahead of our time?
No, the timing for this is right now.
Perfect. And do you see this as anyone who smokes? Let me give you some statistics. 81 people a day in the U.S. smoke weed. Now, do you know 1% of 81 million people? Do you know that number? If they just bought this as a gift or a novelty,
We'd be millionaires.
Right.
You got it.
we are millionaires. Let me interrupt you.
You already have, Joe. Don't worry. Keep going.
Martin and myself, our currency is longevity.
That's right.
Right, Martin? And let me tell you, the reason you're happy, and he's happy, and I'm happy, and she's happy, is because of love and respect.
Absolutely.
And that's the bottom line on the whole game.
Yeah, it's a blessing to be able to work with your family, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Huh?
How proud of
Warm.
Jesus, Joe, you're making my headphones ache. Martin, are you so proud of Mike watching what he's done with your business?
Absolutely. Yeah. My wife and I started the business, originally. And when they were able to come in after school, they came in to start to work with us.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So we've been together all our lives.
That's wonderful.
Tell them what I did to you.
Oh, there were so many terrible experiences. But okay, how I got into the
Great.
liquor business.
On
Yes.
the air, you don't want to say that.
So the first way he tortured me in getting my toes dipped into the liquor industry was he put me in his office in Great Neck with his then secretary, may she rest in peace, Grace Sabatino, my favorite. I did end up loving her, but in the beginning, I hated her. She made me cry every day. Every day I'd have an issue. If I walked in wearing not an outfit like this, I went after college, so I'd usually be in something loungewear. What are you wearing walking into this office looking like trash? Mind you, no windows in the office. It's an shared office space. Nobody was ever going to see me. Nobody came there, but that was a problem. If I was writing an email and my punctuation was off by a little bit, that was a problem. I felt like I was in a Catholic school every time I walked in there. However, the flip side was after I cried maybe 7 times and I refused to go back to the office, may I have you, I didn't go back in for a while. I was met finally with an apology. She brought me some of her old clothing as a gift. And she started to be a little bit nice, which was her version of being nice, was like maybe making me a cup of coffee when she got herself one. And she taught me QuickBooks. And she taught me how to write purchase orders. And she taught me a lot about the industry because she was his beard. She did everything. She did.
I never.
You didn't do anything. Your name wasn't on anything and you weren't in charge. She ran the show. So she's who I have to thank about being in the liquor industry.
Wow.
But there are many things you did, like throw me down here to the wolves at Southern Wine and Spirits with no water wings. That was fun. Do you have a story about your dad really, nailing you when you got into the liquor industry?
No, it was good.
Always
working,
sweet?
No, it was always easy working with my dad. My dad was always open to new ideas. There was no
That's good.
no issues.
Did he ever make any mistakes, Martin, that you can remember?
Not that I remember, no.
What?
But we always, I always looked to Mike for new ideas.
Okay.
Of, displays.
Boy, you found
Yeah.
them, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boston is the key to making clutter.
Yes, that's where the Irish community is. Yes, we need Boston. If you know anybody, Mike, wink, wink,
You
please
don't
let
know.
us know.
I hope you realize how important Boston is to Irish whiskey.
Yes.
You can make the brand, right? I mean, it's a brand. We're 4 orders through the system over about 6 years. Works. And all we need, honestly, to light it is Boston.
Joe, we'll take care of you in Boston in a couple of weeks.
Holy shit, Dad. Look at him. Look at him. You can't have side conversations on a podcast. That's just not how it works. Your headphones have a microphone, and so does the microphone in front of you. Jeez. Oh, my gosh. You having fun yet, Martin?
Very much.
You having a good
Yes,
time? Okay,
time.
good. Let's talk about BevMax. We have how many SKUs in your store at this time?
How many of Joe's or how many total?
One too many of Joe's. No, how many in total are you
One.
carrying
So
now?
we carry anywhere between 12 to 15,000 SKUs per location today.
Oh my gosh. And how many warehouses?
We have 2 central warehouses where we warehouse for the stores,
Okay.
but the stores mostly get direct delivery from the wholesalers on a daily basis.
Okay. And how do they win in BevMax? Let's say, I mean, I know, but we're asking for the audience. So someone old school used to come in and not sample. New school, they come in and they sample, they get a meeting with you. How does it go down?
So we try the product, and the first thing that we always ask is, what is your marketing plan on the product? How's it going to come off the shelf?
Mm-hmm.
So today, since there are that many SKUs that in every single category, there's got to be some kind of a marketing plan or store incentive plan or store tasting promo for the product. And if there's none, then we just don't take the SKU.
Okay. But say they promise you the world. They're going to do tastings. They're going to do the staff incentives, etc.
We usually test it to start with in 1, 2, or maybe 3 stores. We don't
Okay.
go full. We don't go into
Full
all the stores
distribution?
till
Okay.
we see the product move.
Amazing. What do you feel like in the last 5 years? We did talk about non-alc and THC that you're carrying that now, but prior to that, what did you see being the fast sellers?
So I would say before COVID, you saw whiskey on a tremendous incline.
Bourbon.
Right? Bourbon was, the biggest in the last, 10 years. You saw, all the categories were growing. There was nothing really that was declining.
Right.
And the wine business
Fuck this
was booming, especially rosé.
Okay. Here, Joe wants more whiskey, this mofo. Okay.
You saw the Irish whiskey category grow tremendously.
Plata, it's carried
Right.
in BevMax now. Get a bottle while you can.
You saw the gin category, the vodka category. All the categories were growing up until COVID, and then COVID was a phenomenon.
Right.
It was Christmas every single day for basically a year and a half,
Right.
and there was a shortage of product,
Okay.
and many companies started increasing their production. And by 2023, the world started normalizing out. And then as people weren't drinking as much at home because they were starting to go back to work, all of a sudden you had overproduction of product.
Right.
So now you're sitting here today with a glut of product in every category.
Is that what started BevStack, or did you guys have that going already?
No, BevStack was already up and running by 2019.
Okay. But you probably saw an uptick too then.
It was big. So a lot of brands today, they have to have different routes to market. So you've got the brick and mortar, you've got online, and then you've got shipping.
Okay, great. Joe, what do you want to say? Look at you with your baby over there.
I wanted to ask Mike, based on his experience an instinct. Would you, I know
Marry me.
I know you invested in this, but what do you think a retailer, not you, I want to clarify, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about
The average.
The average Joe.
Yeah.
what do you think that item could do?
I think the item has tremendous capabilities for the market.
Because
Number
of
one,
Let him talk, Joe. You asked
recognition.
him. Let
number
him
one, the
talk.
quality.
Quality.
Quality is in the bottle. That's number one. The price point is right. Now all you need behind it is the marketing side.
And that's why we're here today.
And
We need your 2 cents, Mike, and we need your
I'm
Instagram followers.
I'm going to deliver this at our course. You do the marketing in Boston.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
direct-
we need Mark Wahlberg. Please call me.
Martin, I never offered you to steal. Don't get jealous.
Oh my God.
I told Mike on the car over here in the green room, costs for him.
The green room, also known as the rental car.
Right.
And believe me, there is no one else in the industry other than a few guys like and or would I offer this opportunity.
Relationships are everything.
It's all relationship. And I taught her that day one. And guess what, Martin? Old school, today's buyers, suppliers, retailers. I can't do anything. The only reason I do anything is we love each other, relationships. But she plays the old school game that we knew, that you taught him, that I instilled in her.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Mike. How do you remember the first time I called you alone without Joe and tried to sell you something?
No, I don't.
You don't
Remind
remember?
me.
Was it? It's probably a mistake. She, and you, I want you to explain to her, she owns these brands. Explain to her a contract versus ownership in the trademark. She don't get it yet. She don't get it yet. This is a long-term big hit.
I get it, Martin. I
yeah.
just like to branch out. I don't need to be Joe Ballin's daughter. I need to be Joey Padone, Joey Chanel here at Sippin and Selling.
Better than me.
And I had to create a
Better
name for
than me.
myself.
Better.
And I had to try to speak up for myself, obviously,
absolutely.
too.
Yeah.
But yes, so you already got those brands into BevMax, but I had tried to sell you, Mike, and it was really funny because I've known you my whole life. I've seen you at my family home and that sort of thing. And I don't think that we ever had a conversation privately ever. And it was on a Zoom during COVID.
Right.
And I was pitching you, and I think that you didn't realize I was going to be who I was because it was my married last name. And it was really fun to be like, surprise, it's me, it's Joe's daughter. But you were ever so gracious, and you obviously brought in the brands, and you were very helpful, and you taught me how it works at BevMax because it's not the same, right? Like you guys' stores, I haven't personally been in them. Are they all destination stores, or are they in like both?
We have some that are standalone and some of them that are next to grocery stores. But we've always been of the mind, let's give everybody a fair shot.
Okay.
If we see that there's a new product and it's going to have the right marketing, or there's a young entrepreneur coming in and they're going to work the product, we always give it a go.
Nice. What do you want to say now, Joe?
I want to
Martin.
I want to explore and explain the difference between BevStack and the rest of them. And the difference, and of course we're going to discuss this over lunch, when a consumer wants to buy our brands through BevStack, they have inventory. Drizzly or Instant Cart, They add $20 to the fucking price and then buy the goods. What makes BevStack the only path for a supplier to take is they have inventory. Having said that, I want to know what your expectations are for any expansion that you may be thinking of.
So remember, the expectation is how the manufacturer is going to drive their marketing on the product.
Well, we came up with a solution. We believe at the point of sale, the retailer knows more than me. So what we are planning is to give a winner, who you are, the opportunity to be part of this game, and you market it, and we'll give it to you at cost.
Okay, you guys discuss this over lunch, but Mike, I'm sure you get propositioned all the time to either have
You
ownership
get
or
it,
equity
okay?
or
you
something.
understand it.
Joe,
What?
shush. Jesus. I'm sure a lot of people approach you to be partners or have equity or have
He
some
can't
sort of
trust
skin in
anyone.
the game. I'm sure that happens all the time. Have you ever seen a brand perform that maybe you were offered something like that you said no to? And
He
it
had a
skyrocketed?
brand.
Let
What
me
was-
ask him.
So look, there's a lot of brands that get, pitched to us.
Tell her about the ones that you called me about 5-10 years ago when we were, and you said it was going to be huge. Was it a vodka or a black something? You had an item. You had it with one of the.
So I don't remember 5 or 10
Yeah,
years.
remember, you're all slipping. So let him
Hey,
answer.
Martin, he's using our excuse.
Okay, let's go, Mike. Go for it.
So there was an item that was actually pitched to me, which was about 3 years ago. Guy that I know well has an investment company, and he called me up and he said to me, "I'd like to bring a guy to see you. We have a 3-liter wine in the box."
Okay.
So I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
we need another 3-liter wine in
Yeah,
the box.
yeah.
We need a hole in there. But, I'm, usually courteous to people that I know.
Right.
And I said to him, sure, bring him up. Let me see him. And the guy comes into the conference room, and he brings in 3 bottles of 3 box wines, 3-liter in a box,
Okay.
a rosé, a white, and a red. That's all it is, and it says no sugar added.
Okay.
So I said to him, so what's the retail price of this? And he says to me, it's going to be anywhere between $37.99 and $39.99.
Okay.
And I look at this guy and I'm like, this guy's out of his freaking mind, because
Yeah.
the box wine market in 3 liters
It's like
is anywhere
$14.99.
up
Yeah.
to maybe $19.99,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I said to the guy, I said, that's kind of expensive. He says, well, we haven't done anything at retail, but we do direct to consumer. So I said, direct to consumer? He says, yeah, we've been shipping it to people's houses out of Washington State.
How much
said-
was
I
that
said-
shipping?
I said, and how much are
Yeah.
you doing? And he says to me, we're doing 40,000 cases a year. I looked at him straight in his eye and I said to him, you're full of crap.
Yeah.
There's no way you're doing 40,000 cases of direct to consumer. He turns to my buddy who's the investor in the company and he says, verify for him that it's true. He turns around and he says to me, it's absolutely true. They're doing 40,000.
Unbelievable.
He says, but we haven't been able to get into any retail. We'd like to test with you. So I said to him, well, we could put them into the stores in Connecticut, but what's going to be the marketing? He says, we will do tastings every single weekend for 6 months.
Okay.
And if the product doesn't sell, we'll just buy it out. I said, sure, let's give it a try. So we put in 5 cases of each flavor into the stores. They start doing the tastings, and all of a sudden the reorders start coming through. So in Connecticut last year, we did, just in the BevMax operation, we did 5,000 cases.
Holy shit.
At $37.90. I was completely floored
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a red, white, and rosé, and the brand is called Grazie.
I know Grazie. I
Yeah.
spoke with Grazie. I was going to ask you if that was them.
That's the brand.
Yeah.
And today, the brand is an absolute winner. Everybody's looking at this. These guys that were never in the business came into a segment of the market, took the pricing, doubled it, and all of a sudden the thing explodes.
So crazy, right? You never know when that's going to be the next big thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No one can tell you how big it's going to be. After you test it 2 or 3 years, you see the tasting ratio. See this brand? I was involved with Bailey's, and we did tastings. No one, brand new category like this. We went out, we had a tasting ratio of 34%. I said, amazing. Until I put this out, and she tasted it. And the tasting ratio of this baby, 62%. This is too far ahead of its time. But the whole country's going to weed. 1%.
Mike, since
You know how much 1% of 81 million is? I don't expect. How about you, Joey?
I'm going to take over the conversation
How
because it's
about
my
you?
podcast, Joe.
810,000.
810,000 bottles divided by 12. How many cases is that? A
Okay.
lot of cases.
About 65,000.
You see,
Ah!
math is his background. He's got it all together over here. Let's let Martin have a chance to talk since you're hogging all the air in the room, Joe.
I would like
That's
to ask Martin a few questions.
Go ahead.
As long as they're not self-serving, you can ask some questions. No?
And not self-serving.
All right, good.
What I see in Martin is one of my great mentors, Martin. I want to thank you for your advice over the path we took. However, like Grandpa Charlie Marinoff saw something in me that I didn't see. You saw it, and that's why we're here today. I didn't see it till I was 41. 41. Took me that long to know I was like you and him and Joey, different.
Just
Much different.
end it right there. That's perfect. To be continued. Very different. Martin, I was going to ask you, did you have any of those wonderful aha stories like your son did with Grazie? Did you remember anything happen like that?
In my days, things were a lot different.
Okay.
More fun. More fun. Nicer business. Nicer business.
Well, it's more was straight and dry. I mean,
Kiss,
yeah.
shake, loyalty,
Yeah,
friendship.
that is true.
Oh my God.
They don't have that today. Except she has developed it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you developed it.
Yep.
You
Yeah, it's
sit,
all about relationships, but you also need to learn when it's your time to talk.
edit me out.
And you need to learn to listen. A relationship is a two-way
He
street.
got the whole show. Let him edit me out. I talk to myself.
Yeah, we all hear you though, Joe. We're all on the same microphone system. Anywho, so Martin, you didn't have anything like that. Is there any stories that you want to tell the audience that you think are fun?
He forgot all the good stories,
No, leave him alone.
Wow.
right?
The reason he grew up in the business is that every day after school, he came in to either make the deliveries or help me, with the customers. And that was a great help.
That's
Yep.
very nice.
Yes.
Do you feel like, Mike, that gave you a good education on customer service? Do you remember being like timid or shy having to do that?
No, I remember being, I liked the business from when I was small and I grew up in it. And that's what gave me the background to actually see what was being done and to actually then take over and expand the company and be able to start maneuvering the way the market was going. So by the time I took over, we had smaller stores. And then from there, we started building bigger stores. And from there, we started expanding further out.
Nice. What do you feel like is something that you could give to people listening that are potentially trying to have businesses last as long as yours? Do you have any words of advice?
First of all, you have to love the industry that you're in. And there was something that I was told early on: the day that you wake up and you put your feet on the ground and you say, "I don't want to go there anymore. It's time to get out."
Correct.
Very smart.
Yeah.
And you got to take risks, right?
Without risks, there's going to be no big reward.
What do you think?
Otherwise, you stay where you are.
Yeah. And what do you think is the biggest challenge for people that don't want to take risks? Do you think they're afraid of failure?
I think they're afraid of failure and they're afraid of change. And I think in today's world, you have to keep maneuvering.
Change.
The business is not going to be what it was, and you've got to keep going forward in uncharted waters and, make your business go where you want it to go.
Absolutely. And sometimes that's hard. And working with your family is sometimes challenging, at least on my end. But it's a beautiful blessing, and it's something that creates this change and opportunity with multi-generations. And I'm so excited to have both you guys here to share your wisdom about it.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. It's been so much fun. You guys have anything else you want to leave the audience with besides, you have an article coming out in the tasting panel?
It was actually just released today, and it all has to do with us in the non-alc business.
What's happening in the non-alc business?
So the non-alc business has actually grown quite a bit in the last few years. I didn't believe in the non-alc business much. It was my dad who actually pushed us
Martin,
to get
good for
deeper
you.
into the non-alc. So today you have a lot of people that either are not drinking and they're drinking non-alc, or you have people that are drinking alc for the first 2 drinks and then drinking non-alc. Today that's called zebra striping.
Yes.
So you have people
We're the transition brand
Joe,
from
shush.
drinking to smoking.
All right, Joe, shush. Okay, zebra striping.
So you have a lot of brands today that have, I'll give you one for instance. I think our number 1 SKU that we do shipping on is Gießen non-alc Sauvignon Blanc.
Wow.
And they have a regular alc Sauvignon Blanc. And I remember being in one of our stores, this was about 3-4 months ago, and they were doing a tasting on both the alc and the non-alc. And I'm watching what's going on, and this woman comes up to the table and she says to the person who's doing the tasting, I drink 2 glasses of the Gießen regular Sauvignon Blanc, and then I switch over and I drink 2 or 3 glasses of the non-alc, and tomorrow morning I don't have a headache.
Wonderful.
So when you start looking and hearing that, you could see the different transitions that are happening. It's happening on the beer side, on the non-alc, and it's happening on the wine side of the non-alc.
Yeah, and I don't think it's taking away business. I think, like you're saying, it's nice to have both and balance, and that's what everybody wants. Yeah, you have a glass of Cask 420, but then maybe you have a Gießen non-alc Sauvignon Blanc to finish your night out. Well, that's good, Mike. I'm going to look forward to getting that article. Make sure that everybody follows BevMax on Instagram. They have a nice account on there, and they post some specials whenever they have deals, and they'll post tastings. So be sure to check out their 12 locations, soon to be more, and whatever else is going to happen in the future, just stay in tune with them. Martin and Mike, anything else?
No, that's
That's
it.
it.
You had fun?
Yeah, we had fun. We look forward to coming back.
Thank
Great
you. I'd love
time.
to have you
Thank you.
back. Joe, I know you probably have something you want to leave my audience with. It's your turn, sir.
Well, before I wrap this up today and thank my family, not blood, but family, our family,
That's
you
right.
understand it, and you passed it on to him, which is fabulous. What I want to tell you, in my whole career, the only person that I ever called that said to me, "Pop, you're bothering me," was this one here.
Sorry, guilty.
I'm not regretting it. It proves to me she's smarter, stronger, and set for today's world as a survivor. And I am so proud of you
Thank you, Joe.
as I see the warmth in the same feeling for Michael here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's a respect.
And do you know, I'm a number guy. You guys think I'm all bullshit, but I'm a number guy. Do you know how many in the whole United States, you and I, percentage of the demographics, 0.03%?
Wow.
There's 500,000 people born when we were born. And we're 0.03. That's about 15,000 people.
You guys are the 1%, less than 1%. And I'm so happy you were on Sippin and Selling, because now guess what? Your story will live on long before all of us, long after all of us, right? So it's so fun that we got to encapsulate this multi-generational episode together. I'm so excited you guys are here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So touched. And thank you guys all for joining us on Sippin and Selling. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sipping and Selling.
With Joey Chanel.